399. All right. Good morning. How you doing, Scott? That's great. That's great. I'm doing wonderful. I'm supposed to be picking up for you guys. Oh, do you have a low number? I need to give it to you. P.O. I got Tampa to Raleigh. Yeah. I need to pick up information.
Please drive to highlighted route.
So what I like to do is, even though I have this on GPS, I'm going to make sure I write down the name of the company. And I'm going to also, in this case, stop. Put the address in Google. See if it matches the GPS. I don't do this every time, but I try to listen to my little voice. In this case, I'm just doing it because I got extra time. And so for you new guys that's here to experience this, because you can't always rely on the GPS. So don't hesitate to look it up yourself in Google, in addition to using the GPS, so that, where did I write it down at? Oh, so that if it's one of those cases that the GPS is sending you somewhere strange, well, you just heard it. You just heard the GPS tell me to make this ridiculous turn, make a right turn on the way over here, man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You heard that. And see, the good thing is I knew better. That's why. So we put it in Google, and you see, now obviously Google is going to give you car directions, but you still know whether or not the GPS is telling you something crazy. Got a 10 o'clock appointment. I don't know if you guys are able to appreciate the precision. Understand that he has to control the swing back and forth of that grappler. I don't know what you call that either. I call it a grappler. The part that's picking up the jump, the cables in this case. You get a good, I hope my camera don't fall. He's loading the trailer right now. But you know, if you get your truck loaded up real, notice one guy can load a trailer in 10 minutes. It might take another guy an hour to do the same load, man. And that's even with experience. It's the same thing with back into a dock, you know. Look at this. See how you got the edge of that box? If you ever played with one of those machines where you put the quarter in and you gotta pick up this stuff, it's similar, very similar. You know how hard it is to pick up that little fluffy cord. I actually got it. I want to operate it. But I haven't ever operated one. It's just Because if it was further out to the end, it wouldn't take as much power. Hydraulics is crazy, man. But it's near this joint, man. So it takes incredible amount of power to extend that thing being connected that close to the joint as opposed to being connected further out at the end. That's crazy, man. That's a lot of power. It's interesting. It's so interesting. So if you look inside the cab, you got like a joystick type deal, just like that toy thing. Watch. See how where he stops the movement, counters the swing. Chill out, man. Just chill out. You got me. I didn't even have time to finish eating. I like to do is I know the weight is about 41. You take notice of where the axles are on the trailer. You look at how it's loaded. It's all on the floor. It goes all the way to this point. See where the axles are? Then you try to determine if the axles need to be slid or if they're already sitting in the right place. Don't forget, you got to put fuel in the truck. So even though this extends beyond that axle, then it's still going to make up for the additional weight in the front once you put fuel in it. So that's kind of how that goes. Now, I'm not even going to, so that's what I mean when I say I'm eyeballing it. So I'm not even going to waste money on cat scale because I'm pretty sure that that's already axled out pretty good. Smaller than I thought it was. I thought that thing was huge. Get out of there. 11 hours, 10 hours left on I-70. Which is about what it's going to take to get to the house. I can't even afford to hit traffic. But you know we're gonna hit in Atlanta. Or maybe not. Let's not speak that into existence. Stop. In case you haven't figured it out, you're asking what's the reason for the space. And so people can make that left right there coming from the other direction. It's called being considerate. It's called being thoughtful. It's called winning the favor of your fellow motorists in cars. Like, forget them. They don't think about you. Well, yeah, often they do. It's just like them people acting like police never give you a break. You definitely have seen cars looking out for big trouble, but that's besides the point. You're gonna allow yourself to live your life solely based on how other people treat you? Or you're going to evolve to become the person who sometimes, at least, do things in a way just because it's a good way to do things. Not the right way or the moral way or none of that trivial stuff, but it's a good way, a better way of doing things. Treat people the way you would want to be treated is an easy way to look at it. If you were coming from the other direction, it would be kind of irritating for you to sit there and see a truck blocking all that intersection. You gain nothing by blocking it all. You actually gain and win in favor. Somebody might look out for you at some point in the future by leaving it open. And not even leaving it open for you, but just being the type of person who leaves it open. And then using the highway system becomes a more enjoyable experience. What kind of world would this be if most people operated in that way? Interesting question. I believe we're moving in that direction. I see it more and more every day. More and more every day. I don't agree with everything that I see. Look at these kids. It's amazing. I don't necessarily believe in everything that they're saying. I mean, the fact that these adults are allowing them to make statements and have a belief system that it's possible to completely stop violence in school, I think it's flawed. But it is very inspiring to see them take action nonetheless and stand for something nonetheless. So some parts of what they say I agree with. Some parts of it I don't, but they're kids. So as an adult who has a more mature brain, I've lived longer on earth, the development in the brain has matured to a greater degree. Obviously, it shouldn't be hard to understand why I wouldn't agree with everything. But, yeah. What was I talking about? At the end of the day, like I said, I think people in general are becoming more and more aware. I think the younger generation are bringing things back around to becoming more aware of how they're being more holistic. They're seeing things in a more holistic way, and they're having a more organic understanding of how one thing affects another, and how we as people are interconnected, and our actions, our behavior affects each other. So that's very important to understand. That's very important to want to act upon. And once they reach a level of maturity, and they continue to go in that direction, and they incorporate right thinking and critical thinking skills into that evolution as spiritual beings, of having concern and having a genuine concern for other human beings, that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, my friends, have faith in the future. Have faith. Play a role, play a part. Be a part of the change that you want to see. But meanwhile, because you know what you are doing to contribute, you're able to see the evolution, and you are part of the change at an organic level that you want to see. Do that, and you'll be happier. I guarantee.
How to get by in today's economy? That is a popular question. It's on everybody's mind. How to make more money, how to save more money, and the best way to invest the money that we have, or at least make sure that it's safe. And that is one of the biggest benefits of the hard times from today's economy, forcing us to think that way, which is how we should have been thinking the whole time. One of the other biggest benefits of today's hard times is how it will force us to use our brains and get creative and resourceful so that we may have more control over the stability of our lives in the future. Yes, things are ugly, and a lot of us are going through some very, very hard times. But I still say to you this, the same hard times, the same situation that we're in with the economy also creates amazing opportunities. I feel the economy today is an incredible opportunity to find ways to both help other people and make money doing it. You see, the key to this whole thing, first of all, is to get away from the current popular mindset of me, and start viewing things as how you can help other people. I know you're hurting. I know it's hard times. I'm telling you, that's not the type of person you want to be. The world is not about you. The world is not about me. The world is about us. It's about we. It's about how we can interact with each other in a way that is beneficial to everybody involved. It's about how you can contribute to the world to make it a better place. And that might sound like it's a bunch of stuff right there. But just keep that in mind as we move forward, and you will see how that all works to your advantage in the long run. But, if you don't become of that mindset, then you will be in a constant struggle trying to move forward, decide on what moves to make, because greed will cause you to compete with providing the value and the service and trying to help people. And when greed is dominant in the way that you think, then what happens is you end up suffering like a lot of people that had a lot of money is suffering now. That's why they're suffering, because greed led them instead of common sense and simple calculations. Hopeful and wishful thinking and greed helped solidify their thought process and made them blind or completely ignore the red flags that should have told them not to make the investments they made. I mean, how are you going to think that from 14,000 in that short of time that the stock market is going to continue to rise? You know, when it was at 12,000, there was no more increase in value. Why are you going to buy a piece of property whose price tag has continuously risen? And you ask the agent, well, what has been done to increase the value? The agent says, oh, the real estate market is just so hot, everything's going up. No work has been done, no improvement to the property, no change in the types of jobs that's around the area. So the value of the property has not changed. The price is going up, but the value is not. At what point do you say, well, this is strange. This can't continue. No increase in value, yet prices have skyrocketed. They can't continue to go up. At some point, there's going to be a correction. At some point, whether it's now or next year, it's got to go back down to a level that reflects true value, which is another benefit of the recession. Right now, it's a perfect time to invest in stock or to invest in real estate, in my opinion. The market is below 8,000, and it might get below 7,000 before the summer. But the question is, where do you think the true value lies? I think somewhere around 10,000. So to me, investing in the market while it's below 8,000 in solid companies that are selling shares for half of the average share price is a smart risk. One thing for sure, it's less of a risk than buying at record high. As long as you don't go after trends, but you do your research on location. You do use the same criteria that you would to make sensible, normal investments. You look at the stability of where you're putting your money. You look at the information that's in the big picture, and you make a reasonable assessment, and you move forward. You're looking for a steal, not a deal, a steal. You don't want to let a broker or a real estate agent talk you into buying something because it's 20% lower than the highest price. You know, that's not necessarily a deal. Remember, the highest price was a hyped value, never was worth the highest price. So 20% of the highest price may only put you at the actual value. That's not even a deal, much less a steal. If you're going to invest money in real estate or in the stock market, then you want to invest at a price that is half of what it was before the inflated prices. Now that's a steal. If you do that, it's pretty hard for that to be a bad investment. And go on. Those types of deals are what's out there right now. Now it gets a little tricky with safe sectors or industries or whatever, you know, like network security, data management, online marketing and advertising, the transportation industry, of course. These companies will survive and quickly thrive as the recession ends. These are companies doing business that other businesses need. Well, you're talking about nursing facilities or training institutions that specialize in training nurses. You know, we getting to be old farts. It's going to be a continuous need for people in nursing fields and in medical fields. And of course, you still want to diversify, but you want to diversify using those types of companies, you know. But if you let greed rule the way that you think, then you'll be blind to all the practical elements that you should be considering. Somebody can easily talk a greedy person into a more riskier investment, tantalizing, because the potential of return is, wow, astronomical. Wow, this is what this could do. Oh man, that's silly right there. Unless you got money to throw away, that's a different story. But then don't cry if you lose it. You know? So with the mindset that we want to help other people, we can move forward and make money in today's economy. Listen, to get by in today's economy, You take a look inside of yourself to see what skills or hobbies you have that is marketable. What information or knowledge have you acquired through the years that could benefit someone else? Do not be so quick to think that what you know is not valuable. In fact, the more unique your knowledge is, or the more successful way of doing what it is that you love to do, the more likely it is that you may be able to appeal to those who are trying to learn without wasting time or going through the trial and error of getting it right. Let the words I speak to you today get you in gear. Evaluate your life experiences. If you can help other people, you can find a fun and enjoyable way to supplement your income, or even possibly build a complete business. You got to think outside the box nowadays, you know. Think about it. Everybody is looking for value. Everybody needs a good deal. They need great work at the cheapest possible price. Large and established businesses can't afford to go below a certain dollar amount because their overhead is too high. So if you can perform odd jobs or teach classes, or if you have some other skills that will allow you to provide a service to people that must be done, then it may be the opportunity for you to get in there and start your own little business. Or you might even just want to hold some classes on some skills that you know that people may have been wanting to do. Because, you know, when you got plenty of money, sometimes you just do bigger things. But when things are tight like this, people want to spend money differently, you know.